Hey guys, Ron here from myherodesign.com. I want to thank you for picking up our bonuses, and I'm going to do a quick walkthrough on how to download them and also how to use them. I'm talking specifically about the animated files. You'll remember we have the animated man, woman, and props. And inside of these folders, over the course of the month, we're going to be adding in new ones so you can keep coming back and taking a look at what's new. That's why I haven't zipped these up. You can just go in and keep seeing what's new. If you want to, for example, the props, you can just click on this button here, download, and it'll zip it up and you can download it to your computer. All the animated files should be saved on your hard drive. They will not be added into Explaindio via the import. You'll notice that, or you'll remember that you can import slide packs, image packs, and sketch packs, etc., but you cannot import SWF files. The problem is, with Explaindio 2, you have to add an animation by clicking the Add Animation slide and then Add Flash Animation button. And there's no way to go into the gallery for that. So basically, you don't want to bother installing those SWF files because you're going to have to navigate for them anyway. Okay? So you would just bring it in manually, you would browse for it, and then add it in. Okay, so while we're on the animated slides, I'll deal with those a little bit. They're all here, animated women, props, man. You can download these and then unzip the folders, and then inside of Explaindio you will go to create a new scene with this plus button. Once you do that, you would click on Add Animation slide, and we're going to go with an animation. And you'll navigate to where the file is. I recommend leaving Don't Sketch unchecked. Click Add, and these are vectors, so you can resize them and stretch them. Of course, you probably want to keep them in proportion. So I'm going to delete this, add a new scene again, add animation slide, add flash animation, click on the file here, add, and then holding the shift button down, you lock the proportion, and now we can resize without skewing the image. Close canvas, and you'll see that the default is to draw the image. Now that's fine, it's not going to be the most perfect drawing because it's drawing a SWF file, but it is a cool effect that it comes to life then after that. But you have a lot of options here for action before, and you can do nothing, you can sketch by hand. Fade in is pretty cool, and I always like, for animated files, the fly in is pretty nice. And you can time how long you want the fly in to be. The action duration, 24 frames is 1 second, so if you want him to fly in for 1 second, we'll bring that down to 24. And you can change the angle as to where he's flying in, and then here he is, animated. You can also decide how much of the animation you want to play. So if you want to stop the animation somewhere before that, you'll see here now the animation will stop. He's not going to lie down again. But if you wanted to play the full thing, just remember how long that was. Okay. And you can also hold an animation anywhere inside of this 92 frames. Let's say you want to hold him on the sunglasses. I'm going to estimate that that's somewhere around maybe 70 frames. It's always going to be a guessing game at this point with the software. and I'm going to delay him for about 5 seconds there. So let's take a look. Okay, so I timed it pretty well. You'll see now he's holding the sunglasses for 5 seconds, and then he goes back to relaxing in the sun. In the shade, of course. So again, if you want to pause the animation somewhere and hold it, you would choose the frame, and you can estimate. So if the whole animation is 92 frames, we know that sitting up action is towards the end of the animation. And we're going to hold for about 5 seconds there. It should be around 120 frames. Okay, and that's how you use animations. Here I'm going to go to action before again. I'm going to choose fade in, and I can fade it in really slow if I want to for effect. So I'm fading it in, and then once the fade in is done, the animation will continue. Okay, and if we want that spin to last a little longer, we know that the animation is 96 frames, and I'm going to double that to get double the rotation. So 96 times 2 is 192, I believe. So we'll fade it in. Okay, and you'll see that the spin lasted twice as long now. Again, we can pause anywhere inside of that and hold it for as many frames as we want. So you'll see that the object is going to fade in, it's going to start spinning, and then it's going to stop. Right there, and it's holding for, looks like 6 seconds or so. And then it'll continue and finish the animation. I want to remind you guys that we're waiting on another update to Explaindio that will allow these actions to overlap. So right now, if you're bringing in this hockey puck, you can't do any other action until the animation is done. So what you want to do, and I'll use this guy as an example. Here we fade him in, the hockey puck will start spinning, and actually just to save time here too, because we don't want to bore people too much, we'll fade in really quick and do the animation. Length was 96, I believe. Okay. So the way this would work in a video would be I'd probably bring this to the side, open the canvas again, add text. Choose a font. Scale it up. Okay, and the animation, I'd close the canvas, will look something like this. You can always preview the scene, and this is what the video will look like. The hockey puck spins, and it's hockey time. Okay, so that's how you do it, one after the other. You can also put the text first, and we'll preview that. Hockey time. And right after that, a little animation. And obviously you probably have a voiceover or music underneath, and you've got a cool video right there. Okay, so those are the animation tips and instructions. I want to get to the SVGs now. The SVGs are a little different when it comes to downloading. If if you go to the main folder, you're going to see Whiteboard SVGs. Inside of here, you'll see we already have zipped folders. Okay, and you can just download these to your computer and remember where you're saving them on your computer. Once they are downloaded, and remember, by the end of the month, there's going to be a ton more here showing up. So check back. If you haven't signed up for our notification list, please do so. And that way I can email you guys and tell you exactly when stuff has been added. And let me just take a second to give you that link to sign up, and that would be www.myherodesign.com/notifications. I'm going to put that in the text file in the download area as well, so that you can make sure you're on the list. And that way I can give you updates in a timely manner. After you've downloaded the SVG files, you can go to Import, and you want to import a sketch pack to your library. Click on Browse, navigate to where you downloaded those files, and you'll see here is where I have these files on the computer. You'll just double click on one of them, you'll see the path here, and click Start Import. You'll see a red fill here and it'll say Import Complete. Once you do that, you can create a new scene. This time you're going to go to Add Sketch Image, and now in your sketch folders you can go down and you'll see MHD, SVG Electrician, HVAC, Installing Floor, and Plumber. Those are the ones that are there now. So, and the order always here is going to be color, stroke only, so no fill, and then a white fill. So I'll add one of each. Here's color. Here's a sketch image of the no fill, and one more of the electrician. Okay, now these are going to look the same, but if I close canvas, I can go to scene, I can go to a scene background image, and when I add a background color, you'll see that one is a stroke only, an outline, and the other has a white fill, which is sometimes easier to see. Now, you'll see these are, as in my earlier video promoting this package, these are drawn correctly. They are formatted to look like they're being drawn. If somebody told me this guy was being drawn for real, other than the speed, I would pretty much believe it. It looks very natural. But what you can do is action before, again, we have sketch by hand. You can extend that duration a little bit, and it'll make it look even more realistic. And you'll see how great that looks now. I mean, it's just very enjoyable to watch. It's so clean, nice lines, the order is correct. And we can do that with all of these. We can make this one even slower, okay? And I'll move on to the white fill. Okay, and here you can have music playing, you can have a voiceover. A lot of options as to how to use these characters, and if you need to get through them quickly, you can just, again, speed them up. They'll still look great coming in because they've been formatted correctly. Okay, and then I'll just remind you one more time that when you add the sketch image, the order is going to be color, no fill, white fill. Okay, so the third of each is going to be the white fill. So that covers the sketch images and the animated images. And if you have any questions, please contact us at support@myherodesign.com. Thank you as always.